actually start with individuals. There's testing we can do to look at your what we call biologic age versus chronologic age. For example, if I am 50 years old, my biologic age can either be 45 or it can be 65, right? So most of us, if I'm 50 years old, I would much rather be biologically 40 years old. And those are tests that we can do, and that's something that we can objectively monitor over time as well. If you come in and your biologic age is 65 when you're 50, then our goal will be to keep that biologic age from progressing too fast, or even to a certain extent regress some of that age to a closer age of 50 where you are. How do we do that? There are lots of different strategies, but it depends on what's causing your body to age at that rate, okay? And that's some of the things like oxidative stress and that inflammation that we spoke about earlier. We can actually address those underlying causes, but there are also lots of nutraceuticals and things like peptides and hormones that we can use to help reverse some of that biologic age and bring you closer to where you really are from an age perspective. Now, ultimately, other lifestyle factors are really important as well, like your nutrition and like sleeping and how much sleep you're getting, the hormone balance we've talked about, the detoxification we've talked about. So we put all those, what I call the 5 pillars of health together to get you to a space where you are optimally aging. One of the questions I often get asked is, how do I achieve overall health and wellness? And I typically break it down into the 5 pillars of health, okay? And we start with nutrition. One of the other things when we talk about nutrition is it's very important to make sure we meet each individual where they are. And what does that mean? That means not trying to force a diet on someone where we know that they're not going to be able to continue with that diet long term and be successful with it. So understanding there's no one size or one diet that's going to work for each and every person. So meeting that person where they are with a diet that's going to be appropriate and something that's sustainable is very important. Number 2, second pillar of health is detoxification. And we talked about making sure that we are not continuously being exposed to those toxins, and just as importantly, being able to make sure our body is able to get rid of those toxins appropriately through our liver and through the intestinal system and in our urine, to be honest with you. So being able to make sure those systems are optimized. The third pillar of health, exercise. You know, some of us kind of cringe when we say exercise, but at the end of the day, we all know that some type of movement is very important. I don't mean going out and running marathons or doing CrossFit 7 days a week. Movement is important, and we develop exercise programs for every age and capability that is successful. Number 4, stress and hormone balance, okay? I want to say, when we say stress, most of us think about emotional stress. And there are lots of different types of stressors. There's emotional stress, there's chemical stress, there's physical stress. But even that emotional stress has biochemical pathways that do occur from the adrenal gland and your stress hormones that affect us tremendously. Our immune system, our heart, we talked about. Understanding how stress affects our lives tremendously and understanding how to deal with those stressors. Teaching stress management techniques such as breath work are very important. 5th pillar, sleep. And this is the one, although I saved it for last, I think this is probably the one that most of us neglect the most. That 5th pillar of sleep is just as important as our nutrition, as is exercise, and I think most of us do a poor job of really assessing sleep and optimizing our sleep. Our body heals and restores itself during the appropriate REM and deep sleep, and many of us are not getting that sleep to heal itself. When it comes to healing, we're talking about optimizing our immune system, getting out the toxins in our brain that cause our brain to function much more efficiently when we get those toxins out. The brain doesn't drain all of those toxins unless we're getting that deep and REM sleep. In fact, there's a system called the glymphatic system in our brain. That glymphatic system is what is important or responsible for cleaning out the toxins in our brain. Well, guess what? That doesn't work unless you're getting that deep and REM sleep. So that sleep is really important, and we concentrate on that to the point where I recommend for most of my clients utilizing biometric devices like Oura Rings or Apple Watches or BioStrap, other devices that measure your sleep, that gives us some insight into what we need to work on to optimize your sleep patterns. If I were to ask you, which one of the 5 pillars do you want to leave out and is not important? Well, at the end of the day, if you want to achieve optimal health, there's no way you can leave out any of those 5 pillars of health. It's important that we address and optimize your nutrition, sleep, detoxification, stress and hormone balance, and starting to get some exercise. Those are the 5 pillars of health, and all of those need to be addressed. Let us help you achieve those optimal health and wellness goals here at Reveal Vitality. Feel free to reach out to us, and I look forward to meeting and seeing all of you.